Hello and welcome to this week's CEO blog. We're going to spend some time talking about our volunteers. It takes many people and a lot of different activities to help make a hospital run effectively. And volunteers are an integral part of the experience our staff have and how our patients and their families feel their care is provided here at Pullman Regional Hospital. And I've invited two special people to be with me today, Jean Peterson and Faye Raspone, and we'll hear from them in just a minute. But let me give you a little overview. Last year we had over 220 volunteers contribute to Pullman Regional Hospital, nearly 17,000 hours of volunteer time, which equates in dollars to almost $300,000 a year. That's a significant contribution of energy and effort and great resource for our hospital and our patients and our staff. And we're grateful to these folks, and Jean and Faye represent this wonderful cadre of volunteers that we have in the community. Let me tell you a little bit about these two women. Faye started in late 1991 as a Preop Escort, and this was at the old hospital over on WSU campus. She would take patients to the floor and then escort them back again, often serving multiple patients at one time, which is kind of that multitasking activity that can become so important. She's helped out in the gift shop. We have an information desk up in the medical office building here, and she's been a guide and an information provider up there. And she'll substitute in the oncology clinic from time to time when her sister Jean is not able to. And so, and Faye has accepted the responsibility to be one of our team leads in helping to orient and guide other volunteers in how they interact and carry out their activities here at the hospital. So Faye Raspone has been here since 1991. Now her sister Jean joined her just a few months later at the start of 1992. And she's been a Preop Escort as well. She's been a Pink Lady. She's been a gift shop volunteer. And she almost is the one exclusive volunteer that spent the majority of her time in our oncology clinic here at Pullman Regional Hospital. Faye's kind of filled in for her from time to time, but Jean's been a stalwart in the oncology clinic. So we're anxious to get a little information from these two ladies about why they volunteer and what's important to them and the way that they're able to be involved. So I'll ask you a question and you can each respond, okay? What made you decide to become a volunteer at the hospital?
I decided because I didn't want to sit home all the time after I retired, and I'd worked closely with the hospital from my job. So, and I knew I wanted to volunteer here at the hospital. That was a given.
What about you, Jean?
And I decided to volunteer because I thought a lot of the Pink Ladies that volunteered, and that's where I actually started, was Pink Lady.
Yeah, excellent.
And then I progressed to Preop, and then I chose to be in oncology soon after I started volunteering.
So you've been here, both of you, nearly 23 years or more. So what keeps you volunteering? What is it that motivates you to continue on?
The people that we work with, the patients that we see, and the friendships we've developed.
Sure.
And I like to keep busy. I don't want to sit home. And I love it here. Yeah. I love helping people. I like the people I work with. And it's just great.
That's wonderful. Do you have something that is a particular memory in all of your years of service that you'd be willing to share?
Do I dare tell them that one? You know, I used to work with Film and Short, and we worked on Mondays, so we always said if something strange is going to happen, it's going to happen on a Monday. Well, one day this guy came in and he plugged this bottle of water down on the counter, and he says, "I want this tested." Okay. So I checked with the lab. Of course, they didn't do it. And I called the city of Pullman. Well, he'd got the water out of his tap, and he said, "My wife, I don't want her to drink that water without it being tested." So the city said, well, they'd been flushing the pipes and stuff. Well, it ended up there was an outfit in Moscow that he had to take it to test it.
Well, that was pretty clever of you to call the city. That was good thinking. Jean, what about you?
You know, Scott, I've thought a lot about it, and I really, really just feel that every day is a pleasure to be here. And the patients come and go. One patient threw things on the counter, she didn't want to do this, and so I sort of backed away and thought, well, I don't want to be around a belligerent patient, but basically they're all the same, not all the same. Some are really sick and some are graduating from their chemo, and it's gratifying to see that and see how much we serve the patient.
Sure. Well, as we're wrapping up here, is there one last thing you'd like to say about your volunteer experience for the folks that'll be watching our blog?
I would like to encourage more people that I know to volunteer here. It's a wonderful place to be. Everybody is so
good recruitment.
thoughtful.
And I keep trying to get people to volunteer. Whenever I see somebody that just retired, you got to come volunteer at the hospital. It's a great place to be.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Great examples amongst the many, many volunteers at Pullman Regional Hospital. A true sign of generosity in giving of yourself and of your time to make it easier for others in a pretty dynamic experience in a hospital setting. Not always sure what's going to happen, but a little bit of comfort and additional care comes from our volunteers. Thank you for tuning into this blog, and I hope you choose to have a great day.